My last school holiday. Last school holiday, my family and I went to the beach. We left early in the morning and drove for about 2 hours to get there. The weather was sunny, and the sky was clear, perfect for a beach day. When we arrived, we found a nice spot near the shore. I immediately changed into my swimsuit and ran to the water. I played with the waves and built a sandcastle with my little brother. My parents enjoyed relaxing under a beach umbrella, reading books and chatting. Around noon, we had a picnic lunch. My mom prepared sandwiches, fresh fruits, and cold drinks. After eating, we took a short walk along the beach, collecting seashells and taking pictures. It was a fun and relaxing day, and we felt so happy spending time together. Finally, in the late afternoon, we packed up our things and went home. I was tired but very happy. It was one of the best holidays I've ever had. A fan day at zoo. Last weekend, my friends and I went to the zoo. We were excited because it was our first time visiting together. We arrived at the zoo around 9 a.m. and bought our tickets. The weather was perfect for a day outdoors. The first animals we saw were the lions. They looked majestic but a little scary. Then we moved on to see the elephants. One of them sprayed water with its trunk, which made us laugh. After that, we visited the bird sanctuary. We saw colorful parrots, eagles, and even a peacock showing its feathers. At lunchtime, we sat in the picnic area and shared snacks we brought from home. After eating, we explored the reptile house. We saw snakes, lizards, and a giant crocodile. It was amazing but also a bit frightening. By the end of the day, we were tired but happy. We took a lot of photos and had so much fun together. It was an unforgettable experience, and we promised to visit the zoo again someday. My first cooking experience. Last Saturday, I decided to try cooking for the first time. I wanted to make something simple, so I chose to make pancakes. I found a recipe online and gathered all the ingredients: flour, milk, eggs, sugar, and a little salt. I mixed everything together, following the instructions carefully. When the batter was ready, I heated a pan and poured in a small amount. At first, I was nervous because I didn't want to burn it, but the pancake turned out golden brown. I was so excited. I kept making more pancakes until I used up all the batter. Finally, I topped them with honey and some fruit. My family tried my pancakes, and they said they were delicious. I was really happy and proud of myself. It was a simple dish, but it felt amazing to cook something on my own. That day, I learned that cooking can be fun and rewarding. I can't wait to try making something new next time. Visiting my grandparents' house. Last month, I visited my grandparents' house in the countryside. I had been looking forward to it because I hadn't seen them for a long time. My family and I left early in the morning, and it took about 3 hours to get there. When we arrived, my grandparents welcomed us with big smiles and warm hugs. They had already prepared a delicious lunch with my favorite foods. After eating, my grandfather took me around his garden. He showed me his vegetables, flowers, and fruit trees. I even helped him water some of the plants, which was really fun. In the evening, my grandmother taught me how to make her special cookies. She let me shape the dough and put the cookies in the oven. The whole kitchen smelled amazing, and the cookies turned out delicious. Spending time with my grandparents was wonderful, and I learned so much from them. When it was time to go home, I felt a bit sad to leave, but I promised to visit again soon. A school camping trip. Last month, our school organized a camping trip to a nearby forest. I was so excited because it was my first time camping with friends. We prepared everything a day before and left early in the morning by bus. When we arrived, we set up our tents with the help of our teachers. It was a bit tricky at first, but we managed to get everything ready. After that, we went for a short hike along the forest trail. We saw tall trees, heard birds singing, and even spotted a few squirrels. The fresh air and beautiful surroundings made me feel so relaxed. At night, we gathered around a campfire. We sang songs, told stories, and roasted marshmallows. It was my favorite part of the trip. I loved spending time with my friends, laughing and having fun under the starry sky. The next morning, we packed up and cleaned the campsite before heading back. The camping trip was an amazing experience, and I made unforgettable memories with my friends. I can't wait for the next adventure. Helping my neighbor. My neighbor, Mrs. Sarah, in her garden. She's an elderly lady who lives alone, and she asked me if I could help her pull some weeds and water her plants. I was happy to help and agreed to come over on Saturday morning. When I arrived, Mrs. Sarah showed me her garden. It was beautiful, with many flowers and vegetables, but it needed some cleaning. I started by pulling out the weeds, which was harder than I expected. Mrs. Sarah gave me gloves and taught me the right way to do it. After finishing the weeding, I helped water her plants. She told me interesting stories about each plant, and I learned a lot from her. Before I left, Mrs. Sarah thanked me and even gave me a small pot with a flower to take home as a gift. Helping her made me feel really good, and I realized how small acts of kindness can mean a lot to others. It was a simple but meaningful experience, and I hope to help her again soon. My first time riding a bicycle. A few months ago, I finally learned how to ride a bicycle. I had always wanted to learn, but I was a bit scared of falling. One afternoon, my dad offered to teach me, so I decided to give it a try. At first, I was really nervous. My dad held onto the back of the bicycle as I tried to balance. I wobbled and almost fell a few times, but he encouraged me to keep going. After a few tries, I started to feel more confident. Then, my dad let go without telling me. I didn't even realize it until I looked back and saw him standing far behind. I was actually riding on my own. I felt so excited and proud of myself. I kept riding around our neighborhood, feeling the wind on my face and enjoying the freedom. Learning to ride a bicycle was challenging but rewarding. Now I love cycling and go out almost every weekend. It was one of the best days of my life. A rainy day adventure. One Saturday, my friend and I planned to play soccer at the park. The weather was sunny in the morning, so we thought it would be a perfect day. However, as soon as we reached the park and started playing, dark clouds suddenly appeared, and it began to rain heavily. At first, we ran to find shelter under a big tree. We thought about going home, but then we noticed a few other kids playing in the rain. We looked at each other, smiled, and decided to join them. We played soccer in the rain, kicking the ball through puddles and laughing as we got soaked from head to toe. Our clothes were wet and muddy, but we didn't care. It was so much fun and we felt free. After an hour, the rain stopped, and we sat on a bench, tired but happy. The rain had turned an ordinary day into an exciting adventure. When I got home, my mom laughed and told me to clean up before coming inside. It was a day I'll never forget, and now I don't mind a little rain when it means having fun with friends. A day at the beach. Last Sunday, my family and I went to the beach to enjoy a sunny day. We left early in the morning and brought along everything we needed: towels, swimsuits, snacks, and a beach umbrella. The drive took about an hour, and we were all excited to see the ocean. When we arrived, the beach was beautiful with clear blue water and soft, white sand. My siblings and I quickly ran to the water and started playing with the waves. We splashed around, laughed, and even tried to body surf with the waves. It was so much fun. After swimming, we decided to build a sandcastle. We gathered buckets and shovels, and after a lot of digging and shaping, we made a big castle with towers and walls. A few kids nearby came over to admire it, and we felt really proud of our work. Around noon, we took a break under the beach umbrella and had a picnic. My mom had packed sandwiches, fresh fruits, and cold drinks. After lunch, we took a long walk along the shore, collecting seashells and taking photos of the beautiful scenery. By late afternoon, it was time to go home. We packed up, feeling a bit tired but very happy. It was a perfect day at the beach, and I hope we can go back again soon. Becoming new student at the middle school. My first day as a new student in middle school, I felt both excited and a little anxious. I didn't know anyone, and the school seemed so much bigger than my old one. I arrived early, hoping to find my class easily. A friendly teacher helped me find my classroom and introduced me to the other students. In class, I was seated next to a girl named Mira. She was very kind and welcomed me warmly. She helped me understand our schedule and explained where the cafeteria and library were. At break time, Mira introduced me to some of her friends, and we all had snacks together. They were very friendly, and it made me feel much more comfortable. Throughout the day, we had different classes like math, science, and English. I enjoyed each lesson, and the teachers were engaging and supportive. By the end of the day, I felt less nervous and even excited to return the next day. Starting as a new student turned out to be much better than I had expected, thanks to the kindness of my classmates and teachers.